Well, I noticed I've got some marigold seeds that need to be harvested. So, I was going to bring you out here with me and show you what I'm doing. See those dried flowers? See all those little spikes in there? They got black on one end and they're tan on the other. That's all a seed. So look how many seeds that are in just that one little marigold flower. That's what you harvest. So I usually come out and break the dried ones off. You don't want to get the ones that are still green. You want them that are already dried. And these are a little damp because it did rain a little. It's not many on this one yet, but there's a bunch on some of these plants back here in the back. Let's see if I can get this camera down here and show you what I'm doing without making you go totally dizzy. But there's still some of them that are a little green, so I don't want to get the ones that are green. But you see all that? All of those are seeds. So if you have one marigold plant in your yard, look at all the seeds you can harvest. Well, I thought they were green, drier than what they are. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But you want to wait till they get really dried and they turn tan, like kind of like that one, before you pick it for seed. Because if you get them too early and they're not dried enough, they may not be good seed. If they're completely dried, then you know they're good seed. Like this one, it's so dried, it was ready to fall off. It's turned tan. That's the kind you want to take. But if they're green like some of these, still you don't want to pick those off. They'll be just about ready to fall off the bush when you pick them. And sometimes if you don't keep your eye on them, they will fall off. But you don't have to worry about it really, because wherever they fall off, they'll produce more plants for you. Let's see. There's not as many on that one as I thought there would be. Check this one. I've got a little one right here. There's a couple like that one. Yeah, I was about to jump the gun on this. They're not quite as dry as I want them to be. But it might be too because it rained a little bit. Some of them are dry, some of them aren't. So I'm just going to leave them if they're not dry enough, because I don't want to pick them too soon. But you can see, you know, if you have one plant and you harvest the seed like that, I mean, look how many seeds in there. I mean, it's just a ton of seeds. And each flower will end up being a seed pod. I don't think I've got any on this one quite. And my poor pepper plants, the cold is trying to kill them. And look, they're still trying to produce peppers. Banana peppers back there too. But oh well, that's nature. See if I can find any over here. Yeah, there's a few right there. When they turn tan, the outside of them are all tan and dry, then pretty much you know your seeds are ready. See, like that one? Yeah, I might need to wait a little while longer on most of them. Not quite dry enough yet. I think I got a couple out here that might have some seed. Like that little one in there. And these are all the miniature marigolds. See? If you have one plant that produces flowers and then you harvest those flowers after they dry, you'll have all the seed you could possibly do anything with the next year. I mean, if you harvest your seed from year to year and then replant them every year, you'll basically not have to buy marigold seeds again. Those are not quite dry enough. Yeah, I don't want to jump the gun and pick them too soon. I think I might have some on this one. Cold is really getting to it. Let's see, like that, how they're drying. Every one of those little dried flowers have tons of seeds in them. But like I said, you don't want to jump the gun and harvest them too early. Like that. It's pretty dry enough. I mean, it's turned completely tanned. But you do have to wait till they dry. Like that one. Because almost the minute you touch it, it pops open and the seeds will come out. Like that. See all those seeds? Let me put the camera down. Like that. Look at all those seeds in there. Well, can't tell if I'm getting it in front of the camera or not. Yeah, a lot of those are almost ready, but not quite. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to get them too soon. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. Got a couple up here that need to be gotten. I have the large marigolds, and I've got the small marigolds. So some of the plants will get bigger than others. Like this is the bigger one. But I usually mix the seeds up because I just plant them throughout the garden anyway. So it doesn't matter if they're the big ones or the small ones. I just usually put all the seeds in together. But look, just the ones that are dried enough, I've got enough seed to plant for next year if I didn't get any more. But, you know, I want to plant more stuff next year than this year. So, that means flowers as well. So, I think I'll wait a couple more days on some of these. That one's real good right there. Look how dry it is. You can squish it a few times and the seeds will come right out. So you know it's ready. But that's the way you want them to be. You want them to be dried. And like I said, if you have to keep your eye on them. Because if you don't, they'll dry and fall to the ground. And I mean, they'll come up the next year, but you know, they might be scattered in places you don't want them. So I'm going to give the rest of these a few more days. Because some of them are still kind of green. And I don't want to pick them before I know that they're ready. There might be one or two around here. On this other side. And I've forgotten left some tomatoes on my plants. And look. It's getting so cool at night, it's causing them to fall to the ground. They're falling off of the bush. Like that. Like that one there. I thought I got them all the other day, but I still got some out here. But that's okay. Maybe they'll ripen. Give them a chance. I keep hitting the camera, and I'm sorry about that. It's kind of tricky to hold the camera and try to film at the same time. Let's see. Some of them just need more time. You just have to come out and check them every once in a while, every other day or so. But see how I got the tomatoes falling? I mean, they're falling everywhere because it's getting a little cool at night. And the tomatoes don't like the real cold weather. They don't like the extreme heat either. But they don't like the cold weather. So they will come off your vines if it gets extremely cold. And I think it got down to about 27 last night. Not 27, 37. So it wasn't quite freezing, but it was still pretty chilly. My peppermint loves it. Look at that. And I started out with one little sprig of peppermint that I planted. And over time, I've broken it up and put it in several different pots throughout my garden. And I've put it in its own pot Like that little pot down in here. If you can see that, it's in its own pot sitting in the tote. That's the way all of it is. Because it will take over. It's invasive, and I love peppermint, but you have to put it in its own spot. Because if you don't, it will take over that pot. And sometimes if you're not careful, pieces of it like that will touch the tote and start to root. But usually wherever you plant it, it will come up every year. And if you're not careful with it, it will become invasive and it will take over the spot that you planted in. So if you want peppermint and you don't want it to take over anything you're planting it close to, put it in its own pot. And I was out here getting tomato stuff out of this bin yesterday to put in some of those buckets for mulch. And I put some in my 20-pound or 20-gallon trash cans too. So it'll make compost tea for me. I don't think any more of these zinnia seeds are ready to be picked for seed. Well, there might be one. Let me get over here on this other side and see. Yeah, I like that one. See how dry it is? That's just like the marigolds. All of that in there, when you break it apart, is seeds. I'm not going to break it apart right now because I don't want to get to mix up with the I don't want it mixed with the marigolds. But you see how they're drying? When they completely dry, that's when you break them off and get your seed. Like this one. That one's dried enough I can get the seed. I got to put the camera down to do it though. Right there. I don't think any of the rest of them are ready. Yeah, I don't want to jump the gun and get it too soon. Oh, there's something else I wanted to show you. Yeah, I still got tomatillos and tomatoes in there. I mean, it's unreal. Even though the bush is trying to die from the cold, I still got tomatoes coming on. But when that tomato bush there is completely gone, it'll give that brassica a chance to grow. And I need to harvest those green tomatoes, but I don't want to pull them all at one time. I'll just basically pull them out as I need them. I don't think the cold will hurt them too bad. Oh, but yeah, what I wanted to show you is on the clematis up here. I was out here harvesting seeds off of it the other day. Like these little... Oh, that's not... Well, it is too. But... these little pods that come on your clematis, look at the seeds in there. And that sometimes you may only get 4 seeds. 4 seeds to a pod. See that, how big that little seed is? But every place there was a flower, there'll come a seed pod on it. Like that one. That broke off easy, so it should have quite a few seeds in there. Let me see. Put the camera down. But if any of you have ever grown clematis, you know it'll take over wherever it's growing. See if I can get the seeds out of that. Pop it open. These are ready because they've turned black. I think these are the blue ones. I've got several different colors of clematis. That's how the blue seed will look when they're ready to be harvested. They'll turn black. Now the pink ones I think stay a light color. I need to come out here and harvest some more of them too. Because I want them to reappear back here next year, but I want to harvest some of the seeds so I can plant them other places too. Because I know they're not all going to fall in that pot. See the color of those? I think those are the pink ones. The light color seed is the pink. I can't get that one open with one hand. Yeah, that's another pink one. Oh, I just lost my seed. It's impossible to do this. Let's see. That's the color of the seed. And I know I'm all over the place with the camera, and I apologize for that. But like I said, I'm trying to film it and get the seed at the same time, and it's not easy to do. See, there's another blue one because the seeds turned black. And I planted both colors, I think, in each one of my pots. But see all of these pods? These are still green. So I don't want to pick them right now. So I don't want to wait till they pop open and drop to the ground either. Which I know a lot of them probably already have. A lot of them probably have dropped. Like that one was getting ready to drop. And the minute I touched it, it fell. Oh. This is another one of the, I think, blue ones because the seeds are black. And that one had quite a few seeds in it. It had 6 seeds in there. And they're pretty big seeds too. But all those seeds cost money when you go to buy them. So if you plant them one year, harvest your seed. Always harvest your seed. I mean, your original plant will come back up the next year, but you want to harvest your seed. Sorry about that. I wish I had a different camera so I could, like, put it somewhere where you could see everything, but it's impossible to see all the way up here if I put it on the ground. It's just not going to show. Let's look on the other side. Don't know if it's going to let me. see in there what you can see. Maybe you can see some of it. Well, I thought I saw dried ones before I put the camera down, and now since I put the camera down, I don't know where they were. Got on sweatpants today because it is kind of chilly, but well, I must have got all the dried ones off of this side the other day. But see, this one's getting ready to open, and it's a purple one, or it'll turn a pretty purple pink. And then I've got blue ones as well. And see, when I pick the camera up is when I see the dried pods. Like that. See how it just opened up in my hand? Those are the purple pink ones. Yeah, and I'm putting the seed right down in the other, but I can pick them out when I get in the house and put them separate. And there's a bunch more up there that's dried, but I can't reach them. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to drop right down to the ground right there. And I'll have plants coming up next year. And that's okay too. What I can't manage to pull up and relocate, I will just have to cut with the mower, I guess. But there's some more. I can't open it very well with and hold the camera, but you know, that's another case of the gift that keeps on giving. Most of your plants that you buy and pay money for are going to have seeds. And if you harvest your seeds from year to year and replant, then you don't have to buy seeds the next year. I mean, just what little bit that was dry out there. I've got a whole little cup full of plants. I mean, I can show you the difference in them. See, you might think that one is not mature yet, but it is, that white looking one. It is mature just like the black one. They're just different color flowers. The light colored one is the purple pink, and the dark one is the blue. Or I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. I may be wrong. But I've harvested just about all of the moonflower seeds off of my moonflowers. Some of them have dropped to the ground. And like I said, where they come up and I don't want them, I'll pull them up and put them out there in that rock garden. Right out there where I've got them started. And I just didn't really want them to come up in these pots anymore because I've got pots full of them. In fact, what I'm going to do, I think, is pull the moonflowers out of here and go plant them in the rock garden, because I'd like to get them out of my pot. I really don't want the moonflowers in my pot. I'd rather have them out in the rock garden. So I can use my, because I've already got peppermint in there. And it's basically taken over, and I just don't need the peppermint and the moonflowers both growing in there. And, you know, I've got peppermint started here from last year. That little piece right there, that's peppermint coming up. But I've got that moonflower. Somehow a stray moonflower seed got in there. And I got moonflowers coming up in there. The same thing happened over here. I ended up with seeds dropping from one plant last year. And I ended up with a pot full of moonflowers this year. And right here too. So I might leave some of them, I don't know, but I don't want all my pots up here full of moonflowers. I'd rather have them out in the rock garden. And see how my peppermint there has come back to life in the cooler weather. We get a little bit of rain once in a while. Everything pretty much likes the colder temperatures or the cooler temperatures. I don't want it freezing, but I noticed my paper is out here, so I'm going to go pick up my newspaper. And my mums that I put in my pots are looking good. They're getting ready to put out some more flowers. Yeah, I've got a little bit of cleanup to do as far as my plants, my flowers, my pots and stuff. And some of these weeds in the yard need to be mowed, I guess, because they're some of that old wiregrass. I don't know, it gets up about 1.5 feet tall, almost 2 foot tall, even though it's real skinny and you don't even really notice it that much. But there's a bunch of it up around the carport and the mailbox and places that I don't want it. You know, I'd rather go ahead and cut it. So I'll get the lawnmower out pretty soon and get out there and mow some of it. Well, so I just wanted to show you how to me harvesting some of those marigold seeds and the zinnia seeds and also the clematis. Because those clematis, I tell you, those vines will grow like crazy. They produce thousands of flowers. And then they produce thousands and millions of seeds as well. So if you ever have one plant and it lives, you'll never have to buy any more seeds for it because you'll have all you need coming from the plant that you just grew. So I don't know if I'll get another video done before Thanksgiving. But if I don't, I want to wish each and every one of you a very happy Thanksgiving this week. I'll try to get back on here and do another one. I'm not sure. But if I don't, like I said, I want to go ahead and wish you a happy Thanksgiving right now. And I want to bless each and every one of your family members. I got to clean my table off over here. It's getting pretty nasty. But I want to bless each one of you. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And I will see you on my next video.